asking you a very simple question, but what is love?
People try to define that for the longest time.
Love is when you can look in each other's eyes and just know she's gonna be there for you.
It's that feeling of I can't live without her. I don't want to live without her.
Okay. You see, this is a documentary on a mail order wife. And these are the four men who get scammed. It's spoiler alert, they get scammed. And it's not so much the documentary we're concerned with, but the comment section. Because the comment section is toxic. These men, these honest, hardworking men, get scammed because all they want to do, they're so desperate. Men are desperate to get with this magical girl, right? And they're going to get scammed, and people are going to put all the blame on them. So this is the heart of the documentary, or I should say, my video on this documentary.
You want to be with someone, take care of someone, be close with someone.
And wow, these guys are real assholes, aren't they? Be together with someone, be close to someone. They're just lonely guys looking for some kind of intimacy.
Finding someone you can be compatible with and be committed to.
Look, this is the new American dream. It used to be, maybe owning property or making a business, climbing a mountain, and becoming somebody, doing something great. Now it's just getting the wife, the stuff that used to be taken for granted. That's the big American dream now. It's just degraded into complete patheticness. Now we're not going to go through the whole thing, but I want you to meet the guys that get scammed and see their character.
I do want to be married, so I got looking on the internet, and of course, you can find anything on the internet. My name's Travis Needham, from Plain, Wisconsin, 38 years old.
So how many cows are you gonna milk today?
About 170.
Now look at Travis here. Look at this guy. He's a farmer, of course, right? The salt of the earth sort of types that people always brag up. You guys who work all day, people care about your labors, right? And people in the comment section are going to be tearing this poor guy apart. He's basically, no offense to him, to Travis, but he's basically that kind of guy that you'd say he fell off the turnip truck. He's just this honest, very naive man. He's 38, so I can't call him a young man. But that's the way it is for him. Like, who would, let's see if I can get that earlier express of him. Yeah, like, who would look at this guy? He's got the face of a boy. Like, only degraded losers would celebrate this guy getting scammed. Now,
living with the Eskimos,
now let's see
6 single women off the top of my
now
head.
this is what's important here.
Well, I haven't really dated a lot of girls, other than one, and let's just leave it at that.
Where are all the women in this town? There's
See, he's one of those dangerous incels, right? He's a school shooter waiting to happen.
a lot of guys. I could think of 6 single women off the top of my head, and probably most are divorcees.
Around here at work ethic,
I wouldn't take it as a
you don't got time.
personal thing. It's just there's not a lot of women here.
Do you hear that? There's not a lot of women there. How did these guys get born? It's so obvious. These small towns that are supposedly the backbone of America, women can't wait to get the hell out of there. They run to the cities. They don't want to work this dirt farmer existence. The only reason this woman here is because she has a business. So it's worth her staying around. And the women she mentioned are all divorcees. They can't stand these guys. Divorce is the standard now. It's inevitable. Now this is Eric.
I felt like if I could meet the right one, that she might be more serious about actually building a relationship and giving it.
Okay, I'm sorry, but I mean, this is an idea. Like, Eric looks like he does, and he's looking for someone who looks like this. I mean, he's begging to get scammed, you know. So there is a combination.
Time we would need. My name is Eric Ireton. I'm a mechanical engineer. I live in San Antonio, Texas. I'm 45.
What's your favorite gun? You have it in there?
Now, this is important to look. We'll start looking in the comment section. See, he's got, out of the 4 guys, Eric is the only one with an NRA t-shirt, right? Just look at Felicity Hill here. They're quick to diss American women. Did none of them think it might be themselves as a problem? Crazy friggin' lunatics. So she picks right up to only one of the 4 guys are into the NRA, right? And of course, NPR says, make sure to shoehorn in your anti-gun message. And you still wonder why American men are sick of US women. Now, this guy has his priorities all screwed up. He's not angry at all that these guys, these innocent guys, whatever you might think of them, are getting scammed. That doesn't bother him. It's that she said something against guys loving guns. That's how screwed up it is here.
22 caliber with a 20 gauge shotgun over under.
When was your last serious relationship? Like, here?
I've never had one.
There you go. You see, these are deselected men. And these guys have jobs, right? So obviously, the average guy, that's what they are. They're actually just the average guy isn't good enough for the average girl. What's wrong with just admitting that? What these guys need is have someone come up to them and say, look, I mean, they're not interested. There's no dream girl out there. But you know something, is anyone in the comments section going to say that there's no dream girl waiting for these guys? Any of these guys going to, in the comment section, any of them, if we look down in them, are they going to blame the women that scam them? No.
Tried eHarmony and a few of these other regular dating sites. Never worked for me.
My name's Bobby Cannon. I'm 46, and I work in human resources for the federal government. And my views are mine alone, not the government's.
There you go. He's in the human resources. Like, these guys have decent jobs. What was Eric? He was an engineer of some kind. So these guys, the average guy doesn't have enough status to get the average woman. It's just that simple.
So this is the living room. This is where I spend most of the day when I'm at home. Got some of my collection. I tend to be a little bit shy, so I don't meet a lot of folks for relationship purposes.
All right.
And to be honest, Joe, I'm
to
a
me
little bit
this just
heavier.
To me, this guy's living the dream. He's, even though this isn't my particular hobby, I wouldn't have these guns up here. It doesn't have to be my hobby. He likes this stuff, so he has it. He's playing his video games. He has no one coming bothering him. If this guy got a girlfriend, if he got quote unquote lucky, she'd come in, she'd wipe that shelf off. And then he would spend his life working overtime to keep her around. This guy, as far as I'm concerned, just doesn't realize he's living the dream.
So that is something that is a real negative in the United States.
Oh yeah, you talking about getting fat. It's not a negative in the United States. The United States are full of fatzos, just like Canada is. There are women that are allowed, what they call them, land whales that have boyfriends. Hey, is Donald Trump svelte? No, he's a fat blob, and he's in his 70s, and he has all these hot wives. So this guy just doesn't have enough status. He's a nobody. And so he can't get the girl. This is what love actually is.
I hated dating. I got on your popular sites, and my first 5 dates lasted less than 5 minutes. All 5 of them. I'm Ron Kirby. I'm from North Carolina in Pinehurst.
Okay,
I married my childhood sweetheart.
Okay, Ron is important. I want you to listen to this. He married his childhood sweetheart.
Met her when she was 12. I was 13. Got married at 18. 3 kids by 26. We were married for 28 years. If there was one thing missing in our marriage, it was this. I felt taken advantage of.
Did you hear that? It's so great to hear a married man actually say that. I got taken advantage of. And this guy, how is he going to be categorized as an incel? He got married at a very young age. He cranked out the all valuable children, right? That's what people brag about, right? They got children. And he was with her for 28 years. I suspect she passed away. I don't think they got divorced. But he went the long haul. He was married longer than most people have been married. So this guy did everything right. Are they going to be good to him in the comment section? Let's take a look. Look at this guy, the hotel cleaning lady who complimented him. There's your girl, bro. I won't even look at these. What a disgusting thing to say. These guys got scammed, and they're just making fun of them. Let's see. This is one. Look, I don't know if you say this thing, Sesnia or Kizishnia. I've had 5 dates and didn't last 5 minutes. Have you ever stopped to consider what the common denominator in all these dates was? Hint, it's you. Now, you see the problem with this? Anyone who's actually worked on dating, used them, the dating sites, the men overwhelm the women in numbers, because the women don't need dating sites. If a woman wants to get with a guy, she just shows interest to him. Guys need them because they're desperate. But in the meanwhile, because women don't need them, they waste men's time. They're just there for the attention. And they waste men's time. And that's why it didn't work. And also, this guy, why it didn't last 5 minutes? Because he put his cards on the table. He basically come out and stopped screwing around and said, look, I want a relationship. And these girls basically ditched him, said, no, I just want to screw around. I just want you to talk to me endlessly, and I don't have to deal with you. Because look at this, Legacy Secured. It's quite a name. He's a very high-strung man, talking about Ron. The way he treated the girl when he asked if she had kids, she says no and returns question on him. Hold on, that is very important to me. Okay, dude, chill out. Yeah, he's putting his cards on the table. He's not screwing around.
With American women. So I typed into Google something about Russian brides. A foreign affair came up.
Now look,
Welcome.
He's one of these guys who doesn't want to deal with the fact that he's just not attractive to women, in so much as he doesn't have enough status. He's in good shape. He's a decent looking man. He has a decent income. They're not good enough. So he thinks, like so many guys try to say, that women are different somehow. There's a different breed of woman out there. This is cope in a big deal. Now these are the guys scamming them.
Welcome to the fascinating world of a foreign affair, where true love knows no boundaries. My name is John Adams, president of Foreign Affair, and I would like to thank you for taking the time to learn more about this exciting and very real process of finding your special someone.
You look at John Adams, and John, if you're looking at this, don't get mad at me, but he's an average guy. He isn't the best looking guy in the world. He's got a little bit of a pooch, like he said, and yet it worked for him.
No, you know why it worked for him?
I was
I'll
lucky
tell
enough
you.
to find my Russian bride.
Come on. There's a good reason why this happened. Because he has status that the other guys don't. This woman, this bride came over. By the way, she dumped, her country. All these brides that come over, none of the men, like there's 50 million Russian men, none of them were good enough for this woman. Come on, guys. None of the men over there, the men in Russia are in the same position as these 4 guys over here. They're not high enough status for her. And this guy, you know how they say women love thugs, he's a scammer. So she jumped right on that. She says, oh, you're just milking these guys for all kinds of money. I love that idea. And she's in like a dirty shirt with him. And this woman is not going to get, there's not going to be anyone in the comment section here giving this woman a hard time, saying, why did you, or any of the women that come in, from overseas to scam these guys for their green cards and an easy life. Oh, by the way, there will be someone in the comment section giving this guy a hard time, saying, he looks like a scammer, right? No mention of his wife or any of the women. They don't get any blame.
In front of 3,000 people. But getting on that dance floor, that makes me nervous. You gonna do it? Going up Southern Baptist, I've never danced.
You see, that's important. He's never danced, but he got his wife to marry him, right? And this is what these guys don't understand. No one ever going to tell these guys this. All this stuff, like the pickup artists that talk about this guy didn't need to be able to dance. He just needed to be a provider. That's why his wife married him. I don't have to work, or at least not work as hard, because he's around, taking care of me.
If I find the right one, I might.
I've been trying to be realistic in my search. I'm in pretty good shape for my age, but I can certainly feel my age in the last 3 years. Would you like to dance?
I hear you there, buddy. I can feel mine
Someone
too.
still loves me for me, when I'm not as viral, when I am starting to fall apart. And I wouldn't mind falling apart with someone.
My name is Ron.
You hear that? Like, these guys are unrealistic, right? Well, a couple of them are. But this guy, Ron, why aren't they giving him any kudos? He's the one who were in the 5 dates in 5 minutes, right? So why aren't they looking at him and saying, he's very realistic about what he wants, right?
If they're 25 years younger than me, then they're not going to be falling apart with me.
Wow, so this is what I'm pointing out. With him, he's not looking like, you could look at Eric and Bobby and say, look, they're very unrealistic. They're looking at these gorgeous young people. But Ron here isn't doing that. He's looking for someone his own age, and he knows what he's worth. He doesn't pretend. He's not one of those guys who buys the Ferrari and then has a woman who's 20 years younger than him on the side of it, riding beside of him. Now back to the comments. The cringiness and creepiness in this video is off the charts. Creepiness just means low status man, which this guy, Clarence Merritt, he's one. He's no different from these guys. These guys are desperate and they're looking, and all he is, I don't know what he actually looks like, but no doubt he's just like the average guy like them, and women will view him as creepy. He says, she looks like Angelina Jolie. I look like Peter Griffin. What could go wrong? Like I said, if you have high enough status, women don't care. Violet Frank. Okay. She's a genius. Now, like I said, these guys from Lynn Geary, these guys looking for women way out of their league, ridiculous, and they wonder why they get duped. Actually, Ron didn't get duped. I mean, he started to, but he got out in time, and he wasn't looking for someone out of the league. So why is she saying it about everybody? Even the younger man there, Travis. Even he wasn't. He might have picked a pretty girl, but he didn't really go out of his way. Look at this Jabber's art with it looks like a furry icon. Guy feels like his first wife took advantage of him, so he got a Russian order bride. Oh, okay. What does that even mean? First of all, Jabbers, he's a dyslexic guy. He's an incel. So he has no reason to talk about this guy. I would bet money that Jabbers here is an incel. And what he's typed makes no sense. So what is he going to say? I suppose he's maybe saying that the Russian bride's going to take advantage of him. So is Jabbers actually admitting that women take advantage of men? I bet if I asked him that, he would say no. I'm pretty sure it isn't American women who are to blame here. Look in the mirror. Another one of the 5 dates and that. Some of them should really invest money into therapy instead of plane tickets. Therapy. So this person, she's putting this, Kriya, maybe a woman, maybe it's a guy. Therapy is just more man up. What therapist has ever come up and actually been honest about gender dynamics? Ever? What therapist has ever come up to guys and said, by the way, women go for status, so just become somebody. They'll never say that. They all put it on the man. Self-improvement is abuse towards men. Because I say there's nothing actually wrong with Ron. It is, American women are to blame, but women in general are to blame. Because even the Russian women are throwing their Russian men away in order to come over here. Women in general, they go for status. They've reached a point in history when the status has to be through the roof. It's their desires, it's their likes. Why can't they be blamed? If I was going to blame someone else, I'd say, hey, I blame everyone not to come to Ron and say, look, stop wasting your time. Good, Chris Townsend, spending money on a psychologist and dietitian would probably save them a lot of time and trouble. Actually, like again, only 2 of them are overweight, and only one of them is actually very overweight. Travis doesn't need a dietitian, and Ron's in great shape for his age. It's always this put on the blame. These women came over and scammed these guys, and yet the men are always to blame, each and every time. And look at this, Ron's delusional. He asks woman if she has kids, and she says no, and asks if he does, and he responds, wait a minute, and proceeds to say he isn't interested in someone with kids. Ron's children are grown people. So he can turn around and say, I have kids. No, he said, I don't have kids, because my kids are all grown up. You know, he had those kids, well, like he said, by the time he was 26. So now all his kids would be in their 20s. He doesn't want to be bound down with someone's kids. Why should he? He's looking for a companion. When he's asking these younger women, do they have kids? He's asking, do they have 8-year-olds? And he has complete right to be, he's raised his kids already. He doesn't need any more. He doesn't need like a 6-year-old coming into his life if that's not what he wants. He's pushing the end of his life. Let younger people raise children. It's pathetic. These are the cringiest men I've ever seen. I'm embarrassed for them. Like that's the sympathy these guys get. Holy shoot. Pathetic. Hold it. Trowow? This person put it right. I know two guys who married Russian women almost at the same time. 7 years later, the women filed for divorce and got one half of everything. Now they got Western citizenship and money. Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. They're being scammed. But really, how is it really any different from just marrying the average woman over here? All right, here's the young lady that gets together with Eric, the NRA guy. Now, no one in the comments section is going to say anything about her. This woman leaves her country. She doesn't care about it. She leaves her parents, who her parents actually care about her, but she doesn't give a shit about them. She just knows she's going to America and getting the hell out. She sees her country as a shithole. And that's what you're going to get. Now, here's the other people who should be blamed. It's the parents on both sides. The parents of her and this Eric fella are delusional.
Мы родители Инны, папа Виктор Григорьевич и мама Валентина Михайловна. У нас возраст выходит, знаете, как молодо замуж.
С
18 лет. С 18 лет уже и пошло.
Look, they get married very young. That was her generation. We're starting to get married by age 18, and she's 30 already. All that means is Anna here, if that's her name, she knows what she's worth. She's not going to waste her time on the losers. That's what she sees the average Russian man as a loser. She's not going to waste her time on those losers. She's got a wicked body at age 30. Let me tell you something. Guys will trip over themselves going after a woman who's 45 with a wicked body. 30, she's still a young woman now. And yet these people can't see what's going on. So when she marries this Gomer from the United States, her parents don't look at that and see that odd at all.
А в нас же вот уже до 30 доходило, конечно, переживали, что ж она будет всю жизнь, ну, не замуж, не деток, внуков хотели.
Let me tell you something. Women, when I see women who have been married with guys forever and the husband dies, she doesn't shack up with the guy. She enjoys her alone time. You know, women don't really need men in the way that men need women. Single women are going to become the standard, and there's no reason to feel sorry for them because they're not hurting. It's the guys who have the incredible need to have that partner.
For Inda,
oh yeah,
I got her this engagement ring.
Oh, this guy's worried. It's far away from here. You see, he says they're worried. She'll miss home. This is how gullible these people are. They don't realize her mother, their daughter, is not going to miss home. She can't wait to get out of that dump. She can't wait to get away from this place. And this is how gullible the parents are. So why do you guys expect the men to be any better than the parents?
Я лично переживал. Далеко. Мы же привыкли о детях заботиться, и вдруг наш цыпленок куда-то улетает. Это, конечно, для нас было как-то не очень приятно. Это ее решение. Так мы и жили. Вот. Хотя, конечно...
Of course we were worried. She should be worried for you, being back where you're living, in Russia. But you know something? This girl, or I shouldn't say call her a girl, she's 30. This woman doesn't care about these people. She doesn't care about her parents. She doesn't care about the guy she's scamming. And yet you'll hear nothing in the comments about it. Now look at his parents. He's bringing this woman, dressed as she is, to them. Are they going to look at her and say, wow, we know what this is about? Chase her away? No.
How did your parents feel about you coming over here?
What? I think?
Yeah.
Was it?
See, look,
I'm sure it was very.
she's a parent. She feels empathy for her parents. How does your parents feel about you coming over here? Look at the smug look on this woman's face. See, this woman is not going to say anything about this. I just in the past generation, she'd look at her son and say, "Get rid of this woman. Get rid of her." It's so obvious what she's here for. So his parents are involved too. His parents are just as much of a sucker as he is, and they're just as uncaring.
But so is every other relationship.
All right, what did you catch that? She said, it takes constant work, but so does every other relationship. This is how gullible his parents are. Like, if these people in the comment section shit on these guys, I mean, their parents are on both sides. They each have a woman, they each have a mother. I guess women are just as gullible, aren't they?
As you get older, you have new challenges. You don't expect it. I think that people are old enough to make up their own minds, and they should be able to decide for themselves what they want to do with their lives. It's their business. I wouldn't intrude on that one way or another.
You hear that? Yeah, I wouldn't intrude that. This woman is so obviously coming here for a green card and leave her son heartbroken and devastated. And maybe he will need therapy. But she's not going to intrude on that, because a fellow woman, that's what's important. Back other women. By the way.
Смотри, сейчас тебе покажу.
This woman is going to go out with him, and she's going to dress like that. Why? Why is she dressed like that? Here, let's get a good look at her. She's putting herself on display. So she might attract a higher status guy. She's not dressing this way up for Eric. She's getting ready to find a man in the United States who has even more money and more status. And she'll dump Eric for that guy. So, I mean, this is what these guys are looking forward to. So is anybody in the comment section going to call her out on this? No, they have absolutely no sympathy for these guys. I mean, like you say, you might be able to look at guys like, Bobby and Eric and say, they're gullible and they should have known better. But I mean, why are they shitting all over Travis and Ron? Poor Travis. I mean, he is gullible, but does that mean he deserves to be scammed? Does that mean Travis deserves to be scammed? If your grandmother got scammed over the phone, does everyone come and call her a stupid old lady, so that you should have known better? And go, ha, 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 ha? No, they get angry with the scammers. How dare these people? If women were getting scammed like this, the way these guys are, these guys would, in the comment section, would be in uproar. And you know something? The legal system would get involved, and they would shut down that couple that were scamming them. That's the double standards people have for these guys. Now, here's a disgusting, like Maggie Spencer. There's some truth to it, but it's also completely false at the same time. What is love? Having a very young woman, I am very attracted to sexually. And you see, that's true. She's got the guys there, at least a couple of the guys are like that, who will keep the house clean and never expect anything more from me. These women are getting a free ride, Maggie. A free ride from these men. Why should they expect anything more from them? other than the roof over her head, and will never ask me to become a better version of myself. Why would these guys need to improve? These guys, Meggie, have jobs where these women that they're coming over don't. These guys built up a lifetime, and they're willing to have some woman leech off them. And you would think they expect something of themselves? I mean, what would you expect? What's improvement? Bobby, what would be improvement for Bobby, for example? Like, how would Travis improve himself? Like, what is it that he has to change? Does he have to stop being Travis? He's a working man. Is he supposed to leave the farm, go to the city, and become a big man in the city? Well, yes, but that tells you what the women are. They're never going to love him for himself. He's not even overweight. What is the big improvement? Like, when you guys talk about improvement, you don't want to come right out and say, well, you just got to get status. You know, isn't there somebody for everybody, as you guys like to say? How about Eric here? I mean, he's got a job, a decent job. He's got a house. What do you want to change about him? What should he change? Like, okay, Bob, he's the same position. He's got his own place. He's got a decent job. He's a good person. So, I mean, what would you change about him? He's the only one who's really overweight enough that you say, oh, you got to lose some weight. But I mean, fat shaming is supposed to be a bad thing, right? I mean, she's supposed to love him for who he is, right? You know, maybe
for the federal government, and my views are mine alone.
Maybe he should give up all of his hobbies.
So this is the living room. This is where I spend most of the day when I'm at home.
Yeah, maybe
some of my collection.
Maybe he should get rid of everything he loves, so that there's nothing except this woman to revolve his life around. That would be your guy's idea of improvement, wouldn't it? And how about Ron here? What would he improve? You know, he kept himself in good shape. He's honest about what he wants. He has a good job. He has the house. He's raised the children. And he's actually not looking to date up. He wants someone his own age for kind purposes. He didn't look around and want the sexiest woman. So how does he fit in with your narrative, people in the comment section? Like, let me tell you, people need a boot in the arse with their stinking attitude. Men really do need some kind of solidarity and start standing up for themselves. Like, screw you. I'm a human being just like you are. Anyway, just the people in the comment section are pathetic. And that is the main gist of this video. You hear that, you people? You are pathetic. You were a bunch of losers. Especially you guys. At least the women, you can turn around, you can understand why they attack. But guys like you, you're losers. Goodbye, everybody.